Very rarely we come across someone who is not our student but happens to be one of the greatest brand ambassador for Rao's IAS. Today we meet Mr. Himanshu Gupta, who has scored All India rank 27 in the 2019 SILS examination. Mr. Gupta, who happens to be an engineer from Delhi Technical University, and this was his third attempt and he has scored rank 27 and he has chosen to be a diplomat in future. So today we will interact with him and try to understand what he has done right in this attempt and what he has learned from his previous mistakes so that he has achieved this particular position. So welcome on board.
Thank you, sir.
It's such an honor and a pleasure to meet you in person and see how much of a change you have already made. So Himanshu, for all the audience that is sitting on the other side, please tell us something about yourself.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the introduction. And I have done electrical engineering from Delhi Technological University in 2016, and this was my third attempt in 2019. So the first attempt I gave in 2016 itself, I could not qualify the prelims, and 2018 was my sincere attempt. There also I wasn't able to qualify the prelims. I realized I had done some mistakes, and since then from 2018 November December I happened to see Rao's DNS videos also, and I started preparing in an integrated manner, mains, prelims, everything. And 2019, I think I was able to qualify all three stages.
I think something that we can all learn is 2016 was his first attempt, although he did not take it very seriously. But 2018 was his first serious attempt.
Yep.
But somehow something went wrong. What was it, and what was the challenge that you actually faced in the prelims examination?
Sir, I think a major challenge was the exam condition only.
Okay.
Because in the exam, when I was giving the exam, what happened was I was really over analyzing the MCQs.
Okay.
So when this happened, I usually take 3 iterations for my MCQs in all the 100 questions, and first iteration only took me around 1.5 hours. So I was left with just 20 or 30 minutes for the second iteration, and I had a lot of questions to attempt. So in panic, what I did was I started making wild guesses.
Okay.
And in the end, I realized that I had attempted 97 questions out of 100.
Okay.
And that I think was the major blunder that I did. And I realized that I have to reduce my intuition thing and answer questions based on memory and logic.
Okay.
So that is how I worked on them.
So during our off-camera discussion, you actually mentioned about DNS, you mentioned about Focus Magazine, you mentioned about Prelims Compass, somewhat about Mains Compass as well, and you also mentioned about QIP videos. We will discuss about all those things. But the first thing that we need to understand that current affair is actually a big challenge for most of the SILS aspirants.
Yes.
And they actually feel a great amount of difficulty about what to study, how much to study, and where to stop as well. So how did you manage your current affairs in this examinations perspective?
Rightly, sir. There's a plethora of information, plethora of resources. Yojana, Kurukshetra, PIV, this magazine, that magazine. So people tend to get confused, and I followed a strategy of one topic, one resource.
Okay.
And I think for the current affairs, this DNS videos helped me because in the 2018 attempt, what I used to do was I used to only read yearly compilations, and because of that, it was a very heavy burden on me to study the entire yearly compilation within two months or 2.5 months. So I wanted to spread this entire preparation over the course of entire year, and for that daily news analysis helped me.
Okay.
So I started watching daily news analysis of Rao's IAS, and it was almost regularly. 1 or 2 days got skipped, but I used to cover that after 2 or 3 days. So that was a very regular thing. Moreover, the second important thing was revision.
Yes.
Revision of those whatever videos I've seen or whatever daily current affairs I've seen. So I used the small technique of I actually made a WhatsApp group of my own. I was the sole member in that group, and I used to take screenshots of every Rao's DNS videos, which I thought that this is utilizable in the future. So I used to take screenshots and tag them or annotate those images and send it to my own WhatsApp group. So that was my ready-to-hand resource for me, repository of all the information of Rao's DNS compilations.
Wow.
And,
Actually, I just went through that image. I will also showcase that image to you, in which he has compiled every single DNS nodes from 2018 till even today, and he's actually highlighted them, marked them, even tagged them in terms of the topic. So this is actually a great repository for me, and I would like to be the member of this WhatsApp group. Actually, all the member of the DNS team would like to be the member of this group. Now, the point that you highlighted is actually very good. There are three aspects that we need to focus upon. One is, of course, on a daily basis. Then we move to the monthly basis, and then just before the examination, we need a final push.
Right.
So you used almost all three resources. You used DNS, you used Focus Magazine as well.
Yes, sir.
So how was your experience with Focus Magazine?
Focus Magazines was a monthly revision resource for me. So if I have done all the daily things, I think reading Focus Magazine only once would do my job. So I used to read those Focus Magazine just once, just read all the articles, and in the end also the Focus Magazine have the newspaper articles in their original form mostly. Those articles were helpful because I did not rely on reading editorials as extensively on daily basis, but on monthly basis all important editorials were at one place on that Focus Magazine for me. So that was also really helpful.
I think he's saying this for one more reason. He has told me that he at times did not follow newspaper at all, but I will strongly recommend that you should read the newspaper, follow the DNS, and then use Focus Magazine as a revision system, isn't it? Because otherwise the Focus Magazine becomes so voluminous in nature that it's difficult to follow in that sense. Now, when we talk about this Focus Magazine you have highlighted about, so you followed the DNS on a regular basis. So your prelims practice questions that we used to cover there. So that must be of great help in terms of revision, because revision is the key. The current affairs aspect, revision becomes very important. So how did you manage your revision exercise for the daily basis of content update?
For revision, I think just as I said, I used to annotate and mark all the screenshots which I had. So if I have something, let's say a topic of GST, it's covered on one day. Then on around after few days back, 2 days afterwards, there is another topic on GST or something else. So I have all those things tagged up. So if I have to search anything on GST, I will get all the information from 2 months back or 3 months back also, and I can read all those articles at one go. So that revision also helped me. And one more thing, that on a monthly basis also, I used to just scroll up all the important articles of those DNS, and I used to revise them regularly. So that was helpful.
Wonderful. I think that is one of the smart ways to handling the kind of content. Now, you must be aware of the fact that there is, today, when we talk about this particular era, there is so much of content available online.
Yes, sir.
And at times we have to recommend students not to expand their horizon, but to limit it. So what is your advice to the students in terms of how they can narrow down to the best resources for preparing for the examination?
Sir, I think for prelims preparation, it requires an intensive study. It requires both width and depth, but you need to also revise those things. If you are not able to revise any resource, it is almost a waste for you. You are wasting your time reading some other resource which you know that you will not be able to revise them in the future. So always pick up only those resources when you are very confident that you will be able to revise them in future at least 2 or maybe 4 or 5 times. So this narrows down your resources and this limits your resources. So Rao's DNS monthly and the C3 booklet, I think this was a good composition for me for the current affairs.
Wonderful. Now C3 booklets are actually now called as Prelims Compass. So C3 is actually the philosophy, core current concept. So whatever we cover in our Prelims Compass, we refer to this kind of an approach. Now, one question is very important in terms of preparation. Since you would not clear the prelims in the first attempt, so next time when you attempted prelims, what were your fears and how did you balance your preparation between prelims and mains?
For the first part of your question, for the prelims preparation, I did 2 things. First thing, as I already covered, that I spread my preparation over the entire course of year. previously I used to do only the yearly compilations for 2 or 3 months, but now I was doing daily thing also. And second thing was analysis of mock test papers. So if I am doing some mock test and all, I used to categorize all the questions. So if I am practicing some MCQ, I used to categorize them into 4 categories. If I am completely sure, if I have eliminated one, or if I have eliminated 2, and the last category was I don't know anything about that question. I
Give it a
have to
miss.
leave that question. So that analysis helped me because if I am sure on question, so there should be at least 95% accuracy on that. At least 95% accuracy. So if I am losing out on that, then I have to think again once that I am actually not sure on this, and I have to revise that, and I have to see what information deficit do I have. So that analysis also helped me in preparation for the prelims.
Okay. And what was your strategy for mains? Because mains is very extensive in nature as well. The syllabus is very wide, very nicely defined. So what was your approach for mains?
For mains, again, when I was doing some daily current affairs and all, so I realized that I have to study not in silos, but in an integrated fashion. So whenever you are thinking, whenever you are reading about something, always try to think in frameworks and outlines. I think DNS videos covers a very good approach that they try to cover in every other dimension. Even the Mains Compass magazine has a SPICE approach, which I liked: social, political,
institutional, culture, environment, economics.
Yes. So that framework approach is also necessary because that helps you build interlinkages between different subjects. It is all those 3 papers, GS 1, 2, 3, are called general studies and not society, polity, or history.
Understand.
So we have to answer every question on a general studies basis and interlink all the other concepts, all the other general studies aspects that in an answer.
Wonderful.
So that helps me.
I think what we can learn is actually understand the resources, do them as extensively as possible, and ultimately revise them over and again with a perspective. Now, perspective for prelims can be something which is very intensive, and for mains it can be very extensive, where you follow, say, SPICE-like approach, and you can actually classify the content in terms of what is the social dimension, what is the political, institutional, or Indian culture, and ultimately environment, economy. So these dimensions, if you expand each topic based on these dimensions, this actually can breed success. Now, easier said than done. One thing that comes to our mind every now and then: how did you manage time? People find it difficult to read newspaper. People find it difficult to revise current affairs. So how did you manage your time in this entire process?
Sir, I think there is no paucity of time, but there is plenty of time. And the issue we are facing is how to utilize time well. We have a lot of time in those 24 hours, but we generally tend to waste those utilizable time into some of the other things. So we have to utilize time, and for that I think having a consistent approach. For example, if I have to watch a DNS videos, I used to watch it every morning. So whenever I used to wake up, the first thing I used to do was watch a DNS video of the previous day, because that time
I think you should communicate this to a lot of students who complain that DNS is late. But trust us, we upload DNS as early as possible. But DNS requires a lot of hard work, and that is why it gets delayed at times. But I think this is one wonderful approach where DNS can be watched the next day morning, the first thing, which
it was the first thing. Like if I have to, I think I believe in that philosophy that first thing, if you start well, it will the day will go well for you.
Wow.
So if I am starting very well in the first half an hour itself after waking up, if I watch something very utilizable, very useful, the whole day goes very well. So those DNS videos were my first day thing.
Okay, now one more important question. He happens to be an engineer by education, of course, and he's going to be a civil servant in which he will be serving country through the Office of Indian Foreign Services. At the same time, you must know that his optional is philosophy. So let's try to understand, why did you choose philosophy, or what was your strategy to choose an optional, and what is your recommendation to the civil aspirants who are confused about which optional to choose? So how did you choose your optional? What was your strategy? How did you narrow down to this particular topic only?
So choosing optional, I think it starts with your educational background also. If you have an educational background, like if I had electrical engineering and I also looked into what electrical engineering syllabus is, how the previous year questions are there. But then I realized that it has been a very long time since I have studied electrical, and the entire 4 year of all the syllabus goes into that thing. So I thought it would not be good to utilize give up my time on electrical engineering and then compromise on general studies preparation
Of
also.
course, of course.
So I thought I will take another subject through which I can actually balance out my preparation for other subjects also. Then I looked into philosophy from one of my friend. He told me about this. I looked into the subject, and then the next thing comes up for any option, that is interest. You should have a lot of interest in that option. I researched a lot on philosophy. I watched some free crash course videos on YouTube, or I even read some 1 or 2 books. And then I came to the conclusion that I can go deep into this subject and I can study for longer hours.
So it was more of an informed decision from your side, in which you got exposed to a subject to an extent, related it to the syllabus that was there in the UPSC, some guidance from your friends, some previous year question papers as well, and based on that you actually made up your mind that philosophy is the right fit for you.
Yes, sir.
Wonderful. Actually, all of us who are preparing for the examination should understand this point very clearly, that choice of optional should be something which you personally believe. No one else can actually tell you what optional to take. Everyone has his own journey, and that is why this is the point that must be highlighted at every single moment. Now, the next important aspect, we have discussed about prelims, we have discussed about mains, we have discussed about your optional. Now tell me, how did you prepare yourself for the interview? I think there is a lot of confusion. People do not actually prepare for interview. They normally start preparing only after the results are out, and I happen to know that your interview was conducted on the first day, that is 17th of February, I guess.
Yes, sir.
And so how did you prepare yourself for the interview? You did not get much of a time as someone else might have got. So what was your journey?
True, sir. Actually, the mains results also came late this time, and I wasn't expecting my mains results. So I was not really into full-time preparation for the interview. So I had around less than a month to prepare for the interview, to work out on my DAF and etc. But I kept it at a very basic level. I researched on my DAF, complete DAF analysis, starting from your name to the last point in the entire document, and giving some or the other mock test also, that mock interview, sorry, and that helped. That those feedbacks, working on those feedbacks and keeping it basic, that helped me in the interview.
Wonderful, wonderful. And one more thing that we would like to highlight is that interview is something which is a reflection of your personality, and personality-wise change happen over a longer period of time. So you should not wait for your mains result to be out and only then you should start preparing for interview. Interview is something which is much more intrinsic in nature. So keep developing good habits, keep developing good hobbies. Now we will definitely talk about your hobby. What was your hobby, and was it a difficult question to handle during the interview?
No, sir. I think I actually take breaks a lot, and I pursue my hobby also. I play Western drums and also an instrument called cajon. It's a percussion instrument only.
Okay.
I have it in my home, so I generally play it a lot. I was also asked questions on this. I could able to handle those questions.
So he must be having a lot of angry neighbors, to say the least, because if you have percussion instruments at your home, then your neighbors are not happy at all. That I already know. So, but at the same time, hobbies are as important as developing your grasp on a particular subject. And as already mentioned by him, that these questions are also being asked in the interview. So develop a good hobby. It will actually help you stabilize emotionally, will give you a little bit of let out as well. When you're feeling a little low, you can actually pursue a hobby and ultimately do much better. Now we have discussed about prelims, we have discussed about mains, we have discussed about interview, we have discussed about your hobby as well. Now there is so much of a confusion about students that they keep on asking questions that, sir, will this trend continue or not? What should be done if the examination is delayed? Right now we can see that examination is delayed. What should be their approach? It is expected that examination will happen on 4th of October. So this is a delayed phase. So how to keep yourself motivated during this phase when you have gone through almost everything, but at the same time you feel like you should do something more? So how to keep yourself motivated?
Sir, I think motivation comes through both external and internal sources. So from external thing, if you surround yourself with good company, so it can be if you are going to some, let's say, some library, so other people are studying, you also get motivated that these people are studying. You can watch some Topper Talk or some other videos to get yourself motivated, but these are obviously external sources and these won't last longer. Internal motivation comes up from your purpose of where you, why you came here at the first place itself. If you remind yourself of that thing when you decided that you wanted to go into this preparation, I think that motivation comes up. So you should work out on both of those.
Wonderful. So these are the things that we can learn from Himanshu. Himanshu has done his journey from being an engineer to someone who's working with Qualcomm. Today he is a civil servant and we expect him to join in this IFS services. I think that is more or less given. There are 12 seats of IFS,
yes,
and you will definitely get it. And he will make a career for himself. But try to understand his journey. Today when we see him, Himanshu, you are actually a successful person. And the journey as such is very long one, from 2016 to today, which is 2020, which is 4 years. So 4 years of continuous rigor. How did you keep yourself motivated in this long journey? 4 years is a long period.
Sir, in my opinion, journey should matter much more than the destination.
Wonderful.
And for journey, you should actually be able to enjoy the entire journey. I loved this examination process. I loved studying for mains. I loved solving MCQs. I loved writing mains answers. Your thinking ability, thinking on based on frameworks like the SPICE approach or any other approach that you have for mains. That thinking ability, if you are reading editorials with curiosity, with interests, I think that comes up automatically. So enjoy the journey. That motivation will follow on.
And if we enjoy, we definitely will have a better outcome available as well for us in terms of success. Now the last question for today, and that question deals with important topic of essay. How did you tackle essay?
Essay, I can say 2 or 3 things. For essay, my approach was keeping it, the language part should be very simple. It should be understandable to the reader and also very interesting to the reader. It should capture his or her attention very strongly. So for that, introduction and conclusions are very necessary. So you can prepare introductions from maybe wider reading, or maybe of yourself. If you are creative enough in writing, you can prepare some introductions, some generic introductions yourself. What I did was I used a technique again. I went to Amazon.com. I saw there were too many books and they had free Kindle edition. So I just browsed through those Kindle edition free samples, and I usually every book has an introduction there. I think the authors are the best resources
to understand
who can give a good and eye-catching introductions. So I use those introductions in my own language. I wrote those introductions and I brainstormed over them where all these can be used. So if there is a story, I will brainstorm over it that this can be used either in poverty related essay or health education aspect or development. So if I am brainstorming over those things, that application comes up automatically. So I was actually able to utilize in this year's essay also. I answered that primary health and education wala essay, and in that I wrote a story about the Musahar tribe, which is in UP and Bihar. So I wrote the entire story about that. So that was a good introduction for me. So writing good introductions, writing some attentive or attention-seeking introductions, catchy introductions, that helps, and keep it legible. Handwriting and all that also matters, because essay is something that is, I think you have time. For essay, 3 hours is a good enough time. Rough work and planning is also very important. If there are 2 essays, so for one essay you have 1.5 hours. So I used to take around 30 minutes only for planning and rough work. So I used to plan like every bit of thing, each and every linking paragraphs also, and with that planning, writing the essay became very comfortable. So rough work and planning is also very necessary.
Of course, of course. Now, since you have mentioned about intro, body, conclusion, I can recall two more questions. Very
Yes.
small and simple one.
Sure.
You mentioned about the QIP videos. You went through the videos of budget and survey. What was your take on that? That Rouse is published on YouTube.
Budget and economic survey videos were really great. I think they analyze the entire document very beautifully because at times the documents are very huge in volume. So watching some analysis which is not even given in that document, but you require some basic concepts to understand
To
those
relate
things.
the other
To
concepts.
yes, to relate those concepts. So everything was there in those QIP videos, economic survey videos or budget videos. So that those entire thing helped me understand those documents better. I also looked on the original document also, but I skimmed through them. It took me around 2 hours to just skim through the entire document to see that is there anything that is missing or is there anything that is new that I can utilize in my exam, and that's all, sir.
Wonderful, wonderful. Now, there is one question that actually most of the DNS team members want to know. Who is your favorite DNS presenter?
I'm sorry, this is a very difficult question, sir.
And I'm making it sure that it will go only when he mentions my name. So if he's not mentioning it, is not going. So, Khair, jokes apart, he actually told me beforehand that I'm his favorite. And he will not mention it because he wants to maintain the high level of motivation of the rest of the team members. In any case, I thank you, Himanshu, for taking out time. Actually, it is very difficult to find people like you who are not our regular students, but at the same time have utilized the tools that we have prepared and can appreciate the value. Really, you are actually the true role model to the people who want to prepare for this examination smartly. Because what this examination requires not only a wonderful blend of hard work but also smart work, and I think people like Himanshu are a reflection to that particular ideology. And all those who are preparing for the examination, please make it a note that use your tools very wisely, smartly, limit your resources, choose the best resources, and in the fashion you will definitely carve a success for you. So from the entire team of Rouse IAS, we thank you from the bottom of our heart and we wish you all the very best in your career growth.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon so that you do not miss any video lesson from Rouse IAS.